Hello, this is Hannah Fairbairn with another short video, and this one is how to set up the kitchen so that you can get back to making snacks and light meals and more for yourself after you've lost vision. So first of all, you want to contain spills and runaways in the way of crumbs or other things you're preparing. So first of all, here's a mug, and I have low vision and I have good color vision. That's what I have, no definition. So here's my cup, which shows up well against a black tray. It's a white California mug, and the inside is red. So even if I put it on a white background, I can still see where it is, or even on the white tile. So this chipped plate it's not a chip that's going to hurt my fingers, but it's useful to keep an old plate for when you're pouring things, so that you don't spill, or you may prefer to have a bowl, something that will contain any spills. And maybe you prefer a kid's plate and a different color might show up for you, or maybe nothing shows up, but you still want to contain. So if you're making a sandwich or a salad or preparing a real kind of cooked meal, again, put your chopping board, which contrasts with the tray. This is a pale green chopping board on a black tray, so that all your bits get contained, because what you don't want is spills on the floor. And here's a big knife. Big knives are often safer than small ones. And note, please, that I always leave the blade facing away when I put it down. So that's just an incidental point. Now, just behind the tray, I have my vitamins, and they are in also in a little tiny container. It's the lid of something else. And it means that I can find them. They're all together. The main use of containers, whether or not you can see anything, is that they keep what you're looking for in a known spot. And it also helps sighted family put things back where you can find them if you give them a container that they can see. So come over here, and now here's another mess container. Everything that is not yet dealt with in the way of dishes is on a black tray anchored into the sink. So we're talking here about containers, about contrast, and about anchoring things where you know where to find them. So here's the sink, and to the left, we have a very small house, and the sink is set at an angle, and this black tray is right next to it. And I also have 2 pairs of orange scissors on the tray. Scissors are very good if you're a bit nervous about cutting. Of course, they don't work for everything, but you can use scissors quite a lot in food preparation. And if you can manage them, they work rather well. And behind, I have an old, fairly bright container that is anchored again by the sink, and it contains the sink brush and sponge. I do not want to hunt all over the sink to find the scrubby sponge. And at the back of the sink, again anchored by the sink, is the dishwashing liquid and the hand soap. And as it happens, the hand soap is in a round container and the dish soap is in a rectangular one. And then over on the windowsill is my water glass for the day, and I put a couple of rubber bands on it. They don't show up much with my bit of sight, but at least when I find it, I know it's mine. So there we go. We've got anchoring with a big fixed item like the sink anchoring other items. We've got color contrast or just contrast. You may not have color vision. And we've got containing whatever you're doing. Those are 3 essentials for managing your own meals and snacks. Coming over to the stove, we moved house a couple of years ago, and we went from a white stove to a black stove, which doesn't work well for many of our pots. This stainless steel pot I can see against the black stove top, but the black cast iron frying pan, much beloved by another member of my household, is fairly invisible to me, and I can put something down right on top of it unknowingly, unless it's giving off heat. Another, of course, item for basic cooking is bump dot labeling, and you can use obviously wiped clean flat labels if you don't want to use bump dots, but they are a very simple way of labeling your stove. And this old but perfectly adequate microwave, and I just have the stop and the 1-minute button marked. And you know, you could do more, but more is often less when it comes to labeling. So that's the other element, marking things, sometimes called labeling. And lastly, I want to mention, well, next to lastly, I want to mention lighting. There are spotlights up here. This stove is very poorly lit, and so 2 more of these spotlights are coming. They're quite old-fashioned these days, but they work perfectly well to direct light down onto the stove top. So if you have remaining vision, lighting your kitchen as well as you possibly can is very important. I want to say last of all that if you live with sighted family or roommates, you need to take charge of putting things away, putting things back where they live, and trying not to nag too much, trying to be humorous about it, even though it can cost you quite a lot of time to find whatever hasn't been put back. People who see well find it incredibly difficult to remember that you can't see that the milk is in the middle of the table. So you have to be as patient as you can be with their sort of inability to imagine this. And gradually, if you keep coaching and coaxing, family and roommates will get better about putting things back in the right place so you can find them. So that's it. Short video about how to prepare simple meals and snacks, just the bare essentials. I hope you find it useful. All good wishes. Bye-bye.